Hello everyone, it's Andy Glenn here on Sharks TV. Welcome you to another Coach's Corner with Martin Grubb. Martin, how's your week been?
Good, Andy, and as we're recording this, happy birthday to you.
Oh, thanks very much. That's very good. John Strange got 4 points for his birthday. Just putting it out there at the start of this programme. 4 points would be pretty good this weekend. We'll talk about the Leeds game and another Bristol game soon, but let's look back at the two games we played in Bristol last week. You've had time to reflect on it. You spoke to Owen and myself after the games on Saturday, Sunday. What's your thoughts on them now before we look at the video analysis?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we discussed prior to the games and over the course of the weekend it was pretty simple. I think for both teams, it was about 4 points. One team or the other wanted the 4 points. A split was probably not really any good to anybody. We were at home, so we felt that there were two must-win games. We were very poor the last time we played Bristol at home, and we were due our loyal supporters a performance. So I still don't think, and I think I say that to both Owen and yourself on the weekend, I still don't think we were at our kind of best. But I think what we did do is we dug in and we showed character and we showed battling qualities to be able to win games that earlier in the season they were turning into defeats for us. Obviously newer to the league and making a little bit more mistakes when Bristol came back, probably especially the Sunday game when they come back to 3-3 and games gone by, we might have just folded. So the players deserve credit in that one of just staying up, staying positive, trusting both the game plan and the longer term process. And on both nights we've found ways to win. We knew it was probably never going to be picture perfect because both teams, let's be honest, before the weekend we're 10th and 11th and desperate for points. So we've got to be pleased. We've got to be pleased that we got the 4. It puts a little bit of breathing space between us and that bottom spot that Bristol currently occupy. It's propelled us up the table into a nice little spot. With other results and going our way, we're now sitting in a playoff spot, that last playoff spot. So I guess for us, the only way is up, as Yaz said. We just want to keep going, keep taking every game as it comes, making sure we're competitive. And I think our compete level was good over the weekend. So having sat and watched some video, we've got to be happy. Ultimately, that's what it was all about, was winning, and we've managed to do that twice.
You say we've got to be happy, but you're never 100% happy, and you kind of alluded to it in that Sunday game. We started brilliantly, 3 goals up, playing really good hockey, and then we let a 3-goal lead slip. And I was kind of looking over at the bench to you, thinking, I wonder what you're thinking. What were you thinking at that point in time, Martin?
Obviously there's frustration there. That when you get a 3-goal lead, you really shouldn't have let that slip in an ideal world. I explained to the players at one point, I think it was the end of the second, that, or maybe it was their timeout, that the night before, teams kind of been in our region, like this Swindon went 1-2-3 up early and we ended up 6-0 up on the Saturday night. Milton Keynes have ended up 9-0 up at one point. So the Raiders have been kicking on in recent weeks. So when you get that chance to go 3-0 up, you got to keep your foot on the floor and try and continue. But the overriding feeling was just stay calm. Try and make sure that I have to be calm, Jamie has to be calm, so that the players don't feel any sense of panic. They don't then start panicking on the ice and making bad decisions. And having that trust in one another that we're good enough to stick with the process, we're good enough to get the goals or goal that would be needed to win a hockey game. We're good enough to absorb some pressure. And obviously, we always speak about kind of bending and not breaking. And even at 3-0, we knew there would be a kickback. There had to be some sort of pushback for Bristol because they were never just going to roll over and kind of let us stick with our bellies, because any team in this league's too proud for that. So it was about absorbing some of the pressure that was to come. Kind of when they took their time out and obviously then they scored that 5-3 goal, it's just reset. We're back to a 0-0 game. Score the next goal and build for there. Then they were so short of time left, they have to push. They potentially have to leave gaps for us to exploit, or as we've done and in the past, and they've obviously went for it. You have to take a goalie off, and so you've got to be good defensively, and we've managed to do that. So, I think, like we said, it was just stay calm and make sure that we were the team that got the next goal to almost kind of stop that rot, if you like. And I think Mace stepped up with that one, bullied his weight in the net, and bundled that puck in. He made sure no matter what, whoever was in his way was going in the net with it, and kind of relaxed us a wee bit. And then Callie sealed the deal for us on that Sunday. So I think we're in a better spot in terms of not panicking now. So I think they knew we are staying calm and just reiterating to the players that there's no need to panic. Just keep playing and keep playing the way we did. Ideally, going back to how we did at the beginning of the game, they would get the rewards, and thankfully for them and everybody in the building, we did get our rewards.
Well, we'll talk about the Mason goal in a wee while, because I know Barry McKenzie wasn't quite so happy with it, but we'll talk about that soon. But I was making the point, and you kind of alluded to it there, Martin, saying that earlier in the season we might have lost these games. We know it's roughly the same team because it's the same personnel, but you think the team's different now than it was at the start of the season. Certainly the top two lines look like they are on form, settled, firing, and if we didn't lose any goals in the third line, we're going to win, aren't we?
I think what's happened is, as a group, they trust each other more. As a group, they've played in a good number now with 1 goal or 2 goal games, and the more you play in that tight game, the more you learn to play, and you may learn to play under a bit of pressure, and you learn when you can make certain decisions and when they're going to hurt you. So I think they've learned how much it hurts to lose a 1 goal game or lose a 2 goal game, because obviously we've still earlier in the season been well in games. I guess even that the elation of the whole game, that everybody loved it, but we're in a tight game coming into the last period, and we still found a way to be 2 goals down, and putting ourselves in situations where that helped our belief, because we know we can go at the end and still get a reward. But I think they know that if we're calling them silly mistakes, we're going to get punished. So they know that they can't make as many of them. But I still think there's a trust there now. And obviously there's a couple of adjustments. Bringing Callie in, I think, has been big for us. He's just slotted in there like he's been there for ages. And Kieran was doing a great job in there. But I think his abilities and his skill set is suited to a slightly different role, and it helps the team more in a slightly different role. Whereas Callie's a goal scorer, he's a point producer, so if he's getting some of the chances, he's going to put away probably more than what was getting put away, as I say, through no fault of Kieran's. But and I think having that consistency, Gadzie's been on fire recently, and just having Scotty back, and Mace is in a good spot, and he's enjoying his hockey now, and I think we're seeing a bit more of the real Mason now as well. That second line's producing, and on some nights, I guess Holloway is one of the prime examples. Some nights the top line's not got all that pressure on them to score. So I think we're in a good spot there. And that kind of third stroke fourth line, we've probably got 5 or 6 bodies that have to fit into 3.
Yeah.
Lewis Young's kind of cemented that kind of one spot in that third line centre. But everybody else between Ross and Struan, whether it be Kyle, who's coming in and playing some minutes here and there and still doing a great job whilst learning at Widnes, whether it be Kieran himself, who's no long back for injury. Coco has come in and done a really good job. Like, there's competition for places as well, which we maybe didn't quite have at the beginning of the season because people's form were fluctuating that much. And then even bringing Danko in at the back, there's 7, and with Chevy there's 8D that can all play. Both goalies are going now, and I think we're in a better position as a group, and they're just learning to play. They're learning to play this level. They're learning to play a bit more in the structure and the systems we want, and they're seeing the rewards, which makes it easier for them, knowing that if they do stick to what we're looking for, there is a greater chance of getting success and rewarded, and obviously winning games is going to breed confidence.
I guess that's maybe what you were saying right at the start of the season. You were talking about the team gelling and all the rest of it, and us fans were getting frustrated because it wasn't happening quick enough, and these sorts of things were there. You can see the benefits of it now. Us as fans can see the benefits of it now. What we're sitting in a playoff position, unbeaten in 2024, and we're on a run of 3 wins in a row, which is the the biggest number of wins that we've had so far this season, and the team looks like it's enjoying itself.
Yeah, and I think that was the key. I mean, obviously, let's be honest, the fans had every right to be frustrated. It was a frustrating start.
It was frustration. It wasn't anger. It was just frustration.
And I think everybody appreciates, including our excellent fan base, that there's probably nobody more frustrated than me and then Jamie.
Yeah.
And then you put that into the players. But we always said that, trust the process, we'll get it right. And I know we came in with huge ambitions, and that doesn't change. Our ambitions are still huge. Our ambitions are still at this stage to win every game we go into. Because if you don't have that ambition, there's really no point in competing in a kind of win and lose type environment. So, but we've got a bit more relaxed. We've got a bit more fun, definitely around the group. We've got a bit more competition, as we say, for places. And even practice, people know that commitment level has to be there. You've got to be on it every night to be in the lineup. Boydie skated on Tuesday. People might be happy to know that for the first time in months, he's been able to, and instantly, Boydie being Boydie, he's not been on ice for 3 months, and he's probably one of the hardest working guys there because that's how he is. But now all of a sudden, people look over their shoulder and go, well, somebody might have to be scratched here. There might have to be some healthy scratches, which in a positive way then raises the performance level. So, yeah, I think we're just in a better spot. It was always a learning curve. We're slowly but surely starting to learn on a more consistent level rather than being sporadic. And obviously the longer that 2024 unbeaten run goes, the better. And that's our job, to try and maintain that as long as we possibly can. It might be I keep saying that to the players. When you win a hockey game, especially, that you've got to celebrate it. It might be your last win for one game. It might be your last win for 10 games. Might be your last win as a player. You never know. So, celebrate the success and learn for the defeats and the negativity and have that commitment to get better. But I think we're getting better. I think the fans appreciate that, and we appreciate them. So we can see that as we say, the games that were, a wee bit in the balance, that we were probably a wee bit soft in losing early in the season, the hard work's getting rewarded, and obviously long may that continue.
Oh, absolutely, and thanks for dropping that bombshell into the conversation. So if you're a fan watching this and you're hearing that Callum Boyd skating on practice on Tuesday, well done for watching this far, but hit the notification button, hit the like, share and subscribe, so that when we get the latest news, you'll be the first to hear. And I'm hoping he's going to be featuring on tomorrow night, to be perfectly honest.
I'll skate tonight again, and we'll see. I think the hard bit is a couple of pieces here of where is a winning team right now. You kind of don't want to disrupt that winning team. So, and Boydie knows that himself, that he's got to fight to get in the lineup, which he embraces every time he touches the ice. Secondly, we don't want to rush him. If tomorrow's good enough for him and we want to use him, we will, but we also don't want to set him back second time on the ice in maybe 3 months and it sets him back. Like that would not be beneficial to our group longer term or Callum as a person. So, we'll judge it. Obviously we've got Hazel there who, as we all know, does a brilliant job in making sure these boys are fit and ready to play, and when she cares for them. That she won't allow anybody to push it too far, if you like, that is going to be longer term damage to both them and the club. So, watch this space. I can't give you an exclusive of he'll be in the lineup or he won't be in the lineup, but it's definitely in contention. I could say that. And, I think just having him on the ice on Tuesday, and I'm sure tonight, it was a breath of fresh air. He's that character, and the character he's got, the work rate he's got. I think he makes people around him kind of work harder. He also makes the place fun. So, we'll see how quickly we can get him back.
Well, I'm joking on this bit, but I'm because I know what the answer would be. But imagine a coach wanting Callum to play, and Hazel saying no, he's not fit to play. Who's going to win that battle? Wouldn't really be a battle because you care about all your players anyway, don't you?
Of course I do, but I think trying to keep some of the, to be fair to the players, trying to keep them from not playing is Hazel's difficult job.
Yeah, look after yourself, absolutely.
Not so much me. Players want to play constantly.
Yeah.
So Hazel's got that difficult job of trying to
telling them something they don't want to hear.
Telling them to look after themselves. For me as a coach, of course, you completely trust Hazel in her professional opinion, and in my head I'm saying they're fit every time. But I know enough and care enough about them and the team and their performances that we pick the right players at the right time. But it's nice, just we've had a wee bit of some knocks and some injuries and some longer term and obviously some short term. But I guess at any point for any coach, if you've got a fully fit squad to choose from, it's never a bad thing, and it creates competition for places, raises the standards. So I think we're in a good spot right now, and hopefully we can take that into the weekend.
Well, every coach is going to have, or every team's going to have injuries, suspensions and all the rest of it throughout the year, and yeah, it's good to see. But let's have a look back at Saturday's game first against the Bristol Pitbulls, and I'll let you do the analysis on the highlights, which are up on YouTube, as you'll all be aware. We'll let Martin have a talk through this.
Yeah, I think we've brought the highlights up, and I think early doors we talked about getting pucks to the net. I think we spoke prior to the weekend about me having Ben Norton here and knowing how Ben worked, and traffic and taking his eyes away and getting pucks to the net were always going to be an important thing for us. So that first goal was just us battling low to high. The puck goes. I think it might actually got a double tip. Then they get back straight at it. We should have stopped Bailey Harewood skating, but then Curtis kind of lost it a wee bit and Barry tapped it in. But we kept at it. I think you see there was a chance with Stents. Then our 2-0. I don't think we've done anything wrong here. Ben's made a really good save. If you've been super critical, Mace probably could go. He has to go in the higher end of the net or maybe back to Gardsey. But I've always said when you're creating chances, it's a good thing. If you're not creating them, you start to worry. Then I think at any point both teams were going to have some special teams looks. I thought our PK was much better. Then Kel comes at the box and creates a turnover. You can't give a player of Peaks' quality that chance. He's going to make sure it goes in the net, which obviously he did. And we had another couple of good looks, and I say Ben Norton made some good saves. This bit was a good vision for Callie and just Dunny doing what Dunny does. A lot of people might have shot that first time, but he was very patient. Then we get in this one. I think it's this bounce here. It just bounces. You've got to give Feasey credit. It's a really good finish, but he's dangerous that way. But we kept coming forward. I think we kept creating chances. We made some good decisions in our D zone. I think we managed to get ourselves into a spot where we eventually go. I think we eventually go 2 up. But as you can see from the highlights, they had some pushback at times. They had some chances. Curtis stood his ground. This one was from just really good forechecking initially for Peanut, and then Struan, and then Arcee with a classy finish. I don't think nothing could do much about that. And at this stage, we knew we had to be a wee bit better. Like giving up scoring chances here, we're letting people inside. That was where we knew we had to tidy up our defensive zone coverage, just be a little bit better, and in these areas, throw pucks down deep. I don't think we've played enough behind them at this stage. This goal, Juha Lindgren, just a missed assignment. Our D zone was, if I'm honest, was just a bit sloppy there. So you get to that 4-3 situation and you think, well, we definitely need the next goal. You need to be patient. And as we could see for these highlights, we had some good chances. We've got to try and bear down maybe on them, but this one, I think, is a really good finish. Then he keeps the puck in. A lot of players in Callie's situation there would have took an extra handle on the puck, but he's just opened his stick up and stuck it right in the top corner. Gives a bit of breathing space. Then we knew at this stage that they would have a bit of a pushback. But at 5-4, there's not that long to go. We would just keep trying to dominate the puck. We would also know that they at some point would have to take their goalie off, and I know there's debate if it was in regulation or not. It's irrelevant. The 2 points were already over. Baz turns it over in neutral zone, probably thinking the game's over. Gardsey was irrelevant. He was putting in the net whether it was on time or not. But
thing is, with that new clock as well, though, it's not linked to the buzzer. The buzzer has to be manually sounded, so it's the referee's whistle, really, isn't it?
No, in the end up right. The ref gives it.
Doesn't matter. 5-4, 6-4.
5-4, 6-4. As I said at the time, was irrelevant. It was about a win for us, and if we'd won 5-4, we would have been, I guess, just as happy as winning 6-4. But I think for looking at the Saturday highlights, it just showed that we.
What were you thinking going into Sunday? Were you thinking same again, or were you looking for something a little bit different?
No, we spoke on Sunday about how we had to start well. That they would probably come out in the first 5 minutes or so and try and be the aggressors in terms of having more of the puck and making us turn a little bit more and probably put more pucks on our net. So it was, and I thought the first couple of shifts, first 2 or 3 shifts on the bench, I remember saying that of, we need to get something going. The first 2 or 3 shifts they were better than us. As soon as we scored early, as we'll see when we go through them, we kind of relaxed and we got ourselves in a good spot. And then we probably relaxed too much. But I think the good thing, and I've said to the players, and obviously we've discussed it in practice this week, that the goals we were giving up were, yes, there were mistakes. It's normally what happens, but they're very fixable. It's not like, Bristol have come in and completely ripped us apart every time they were going to score a goal and we had no answer for it. It was just little things that, a better stick somewhere or, pushing someone down the outside rather than letting them in the inside. Just little things that, somebody missing an assignment and leaving a guy, it's obviously not on purpose. It's just little things we can fix. So we discussed after the game Saturday and prior to Sunday's puck drop that it was half-time. It's a 0-0 game again. They would come in feeling that as a worst case they wanted a split, 2-2 with the points, and for us that would still be unacceptable because we're at home. Again, reminded them that the last Sunday at home against Bristol we were horrendous. I think it was the words we used.
Much better performances this time, though, wasn't it?
And that we were due our fans a performance, and that no matter what happened within the games, we had to make sure our desire to win the game was greater than theirs. And I think within that, as we kind of go through these, you start to see that. And I think early doors, first 2 or 3 shifts was kind of back and forward, and they probably did have a wee bit more of the puck. But once we started, even just pucks like that, putting pucks to the net, and allowed us here then to get some zone time. We get a power play, peaks with a really nice pass, and we get ourselves ahead and we score on the power play there, which I would have liked to have done later in the game. But we get ourselves there. And we put Cal in the net. He had to get back in after a few weeks of being injured, and Curtis playing as well. Then we get to a situation where here, after again a nice pass and a nice goal, we feel confident. We feel we could score every time. You see Connor here with good speed and getting pucks to the net. We talked about Mason getting a little bump here. He just holds the guy up. Good hands. And at this stage, I think we're really comfortable, but maybe too comfortable. Then we start seeing, again, just a bouncing puck. The puck's on our stick.
Yeah.
We got to get the pucks out. Then we're in a situation where, even here you're letting pucks go to the net. Then we go on a penalty kill. I don't think we do a bad job, but we allow the guy to be right in front of the net. And that was kind of our warning at that stage. And we could see again, I think it's Mackenzie's right in front of Cal. We've got to stop. We've probably got to stop that shot. If I'm honest, I felt as a team, that one was just a wee bit soft for us.
How are you feeling about power plays and penalty kills these days?
I don't like them, if I'm honest. I think that our penalty kill, it's been better in the last couple of weeks, but we're still going to concede at least one goal. And I think we need to fix that. Our PP's had some good looks, and we've been all right on it. On a 5-on-4, but our 5-on-3s right now we're as well handing that back. But again, we get to situations where Callum's made some big saves here. Our D-zone's been decent. We're getting some good looks. We probably feel that we want to try and take 1 or 2 of these chances to get ourselves back into that at least 2-goal lead. We've had for a couple of at least half chances, for a couple of good chances. Like a couple of these clips here, I like the fact that our third line started to contribute a lot more on the rush, and I thought in the second period we kind of limited them to a lot of these. Like you see this one, a lot is outside the dots. Any one of our goalies are making these saves, but we've probably got to be just a bit more ruthless on some of our chances. I think this one in the second period, this was probably the benefit of our kill. You know, we let Callum see the puck at this stage. You could see that, albeit he's leaning, he's making these saves because he could see it rather than us coughing up. You know, then like these chances, right at the end of a penalty kill, tired, but we probably needed to try and take. You take one of them, then I'm not sure if they get back into the game at that stage. But as we kept saying, we were saying earlier about feelings on the bench, when it's a one-goal game, like, I always just refer to it as a one-shot game because it's all it is. One shot goes in the net, or whether it hits somebody in the backside and goes in, or whether it's a really nice goal. Then we get this 5-on-3, and we had some looks. I mean, like we've missed some chances, I think, here. We've controlled it. We've shot the puck a little bit more. We've got it through. Our structure was better. It's just probably been a little bit quicker with the puck and a little bit more clinical when it does come up top. We let Norton see the puck a wee bit too much there. They got momentum for that because I guess whenever you kill a 5-on-3, it is a bit of a momentum swing. We see at this stage. We had done a really good job. Stens loses his stick here. And then I think it was 1 second, as we've seen on the clock, before that, like we concede. But like we discussed earlier in the show, we could have folded at that stage. We could have stopped working. We could have got frustrated. But we just talked about, again, getting pucks to the net, going back to what had made us successful earlier in the game, bending at times without breaking and having to absorb chances like these. Just absorb the rush and let Cal do his job and let the D do his job. And then, I think we talked about. I see people talking about how that one looked.
There was nothing that we did wrong in that.
If you go back
at all, it's the
you see it there.
Line in his own keeper.
You see it there, and it's not pushing anybody into the goalie.
No, it was Barry.
And ultimately,
Mason done brilliant.
For me, the ref is right there. Then Callie fights through a couple of bouncing pucks, couple of sticks. Would have been easy to stick that into a guy's leg pad, and it ends a good weekend for us. It sees out the points.
There was a bit of frustration in the game as well in that third period from both.
I think it was a strange game.
It did feel a bit strange, yeah.
It was a strange game. There was a bit of chirping, between the teams back and forward. I think at times, I say there probably wasn't as much flow to it as we like. I think we're a good rush team, and we like to play with a bit of flow.
I thought Mason was brilliant in that game. I thought he was my man of the match.
Yeah, I've heard a few people say that, and I think that Mason's a confident, like any player. He's a confidence guy. Early in the game Sunday, he let off a face-off. He let one of their wingers go right through, and they got a chance at the other end from an offensive zone face-off. But the difference in the last few weeks is, as soon as I went to speak to him, he had already recognised that mistake. He knew what he had to do. I think the goal he got, his first one was the next face-off. And he knew, we call it a bump. He had to get a little bump on the inside, looking for a loose puck. Not even just looking to bump a guy, but looking for a loose puck. And, he got a loose puck, good hands, scored. Callie's play to Dunny on I think that was a Saturday, was a little bump on the inside. Dunny at the back post undresses Norton at that stage. So I think even from a player's point of view, and talking specifically about Mason there, they're recognising some of the little errors that would probably have hurt their performances in earlier in the season. Now they're recognising it themselves, they're taking on board that, and they're desperate to do something about it. And the big man's got his rewards. He's a big character. He can be a big player for us. And I agree. I thought he was really good on Sunday, and now he's got to find a way. He knows it himself. He's got to find a way to maintain that level and above. I think there's still a lot more to come, but maintain that level. And one of the things I did say to him on Sunday prior to the game was just enjoy playing. Play with a smile on your face. He's that kind of character that when he's having fun and enjoying things, people around him are better as well. And I think he was definitely good. Definitely good on Sunday, and I think people have appreciated his performance.
I think so, and I think you're talking about putting a smile on his face. I think the whole team put a smile on a lot of Sharks fans' faces. And you've said this before, our battle isn't necessarily with the top 2 or 3 teams, but we face Leeds tomorrow night. I suspect everybody out with the Solway region expects Leeds to come here and win, and if you said before it's no our battle, but surely it's a free shot at the league leaders.
Yeah, I mean, let's be honest, right? Ryan's got a tremendous team there, right? They're deep, they're experienced, they're skilled, and they're excuse me, they're at the top of the league for a reason. And them and Milton Keynes are probably more consistent, certainly, and probably more skilled than the majority of the league, hence the league position. But for us, we can't go in thinking, oh, it's Leeds, and then almost be intimidated or scared, because if I'm honest, when I look at some of the results, I think teams are. I think when we proved earlier in the season with Milton Keynes, we just come to play. We worry about ourselves, we execute our game plan, and if we can do that to the best of our ability, we've always got a chance. And I think coming in the back of three wins in a row, obviously the first time we've done that since we stepped up, we have nothing to fear. We went to Leeds on Boxing Day and played pretty decent in a 3-1 game. And again, they could say, we've had it with a number of teams, if they've played well or not played well, that's obviously up to their coaching staff and players. All we can do is come in here and be ready. We'll be confident, and we're coming in here to win. We're not coming in here to try and sneak something or to try and be competitive. Of course, at any point, if it goes wrong, you don't want to get hammered. Nobody does. But we've done a pretty good job of being in every single game we've been in since we joined this league, and this one's no different. Our mindset will be, yes, it's Leeds, and yes, it is a bit of a free hit out with our room, but within our room, this is 2 points.
Yeah.
It's our home rink, it's our home fans, and we want the 2 points to stay here. And it's another weekend now that probably even again we go back to that 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks ago, people would maybe even turn their nose up if you even insinuated that you would get 2 points out of this weekend. But we're going in here looking for 4. I think it's the only way we can be. We've said Leeds and Milton Keynes are not our fight as such for the top of the league to win the league. But I think what we have done a good job, and the Raiders have done a good job recently. Ourselves we've instigated a battle between maybe even 4th place, certainly 5th place, Hull in 5th, right down to Bristol in 11th. There's a battle there, and there's all of these teams now are fighting for the spots to go into the playoffs. So the more teams we can almost drag into that, the better, because then everybody beating everybody and carving each other up every week helps us. And if we can then concentrate solely on winning, just winning, like every game we go into, look to win. So minimum, when you're looking at being a 500 team, ideally winning your home games, picking up points on the road, then I think we'll be in a positive place. But yeah, we respect Leeds. We know they're good. We know what their weapons are. We'll prepare for that, and we'll try and execute our plan to the best of our ability, and we'll try and give our fans something to cheer about when, as you say, maybe nobody else thinks that's coming. It's great to see the quality of the players that Leeds have coming. It's great to see the quality of every player. Every player's got a superstar, but to see Gospel and Goals and Brown and Weiser, all the rest of it at our wee rink, you've got to be there to see it and appreciate how good these guys are. But you know what? I don't think we're that far away. I like playing Leeds. I think there's a big game in us somewhere, isn't there? I think that, you hope it's no famous last words, but I've said it since the beginning. I think we're better against the better teams. Let's be honest, Leeds have structure. They've got a lot of quality, but they've got structure. Milton Keynes had structure. Peterborough and Swindon, these teams have had structure, and we've done really well against these teams because we've got that. We might not have the depth. We might not have a Kieran Brown at this stage in our group, but you've got to work towards that, and you've got to beat the best to be the best, as they say. So, we welcome these games. We enjoy playing everybody, but we particularly enjoy playing the top teams because of the level and the quality of hockey, and it makes our team better. And as a first-year team, and you've got to accept the little learning areas and the little curves that you can make yourself better on. But as I say earlier, we respect these guys. Whether it be Wessa, whether it be Brown. Right, last weekend Mac Howlett seemed to have been out of this world. Matt Haywood's there. We all know Gozzi's a good goalie, but you can list our players. But we've got a Craig Peacock or a John Dunbar or Cali or Gardsey or Stentz or Kell or we can still list our guys. And a lot, the way I look at it now is maybe in the beginning of the season people would be like, I'm not sure if I would take anybody for that Sharks team. I think that's changed a lot since they start to know our team and start to know our players, and we have quality. We just need for Friday. I mean, let's be honest, we need everybody to be on it. Everybody kind of be at their best.
If we make a mistake, we're going to get punished. There's no doubt.
And we have to be ruthless and punish them when they make their mistakes. But we've got to go in confident. And I think, like you say, people need to get to the game and need to help make this place noisy. I'm no doubt that Leeds will bring a good support like they always do. And I think that's one thing I've recognised in this league, that when there is an away support, this place is even louder because there's in that nice, almost that banter and that atmosphere that is probably unique to our sport, that both teams are kind of trying to out-sing and out-cheer each other. And if we can give our fans something to cheer about, I'm sure it'll be a really good game. Well,
you heard it here. You've got to get yourself down to Shark Tank tomorrow night and watch what's going to be a fantastic game. Then you've got the long trip to Bristol. We've seen Bristol. You'll be sick of the sight of them, to be honest. We know we're expecting pretty much the same sort of game.
Yeah, I think last time we were there, it was we won in overtime. Even the two games in the weekend there's a goalie pool in there. There's in both games, so I think it'll be tight. They'll obviously be wanting to get one over on us after last weekend. They're at home. I expect them to come out intense and physical and try and take the game to us. We've just got to recover after the Friday, and the last time we travelled there, obviously we got the 2 points. So stay in the game, execute our plan, find a way to be ruthless when we can, and in an ideal world, would be going there with 2 points after a huge win on the Friday and hopefully make it a 4. But we've got to look to pick up points every weekend we play now, and we've got 2 games. Doesn't matter who they are. We've got 2 games to pick something up for the weekend. So we won't look, as you know me, we won't look any further than the first period on Friday. Get that out of the way, and then we'll take the long travel in. We'll make no excuses, and we'll go down there and look to try and win as well.
Well, best of luck to you and the whole team from all of us at Sharks TV, and I'm sure all the fans will be wanting to send that message to you. As always, the last message to the fans from you, Martin.
This one's short and sweet. Friday night, Dumfries Ice Bowl versus Leeds Knights. Get your tickets now. Be there. The boys need you, and we'll put a show on for you.
Everyone, thanks for watching, and thank you, Martin, as always, for spending your Thursday afternoon with us talking hockey. We appreciate it, and we appreciate you watching. Take care, folks. This is Andy Glenn saying cheerio.